how to make your ex miss you. It's what everyone wants to know who's been broken up with and wants their ex back. And I'm going to talk to you about that and how you can make that happen, though make is not really the right word. It's more like you're going to help cause that or contribute to that happening. So let's get started. I'm going to share 5 things that can help cause your ex to miss you. And the first one is the no contact rule. And hear me out, because it's important to hear this repeated, and it's also important to hear some of the different things that I'm going to mention about it. So if you want your ex to miss you, you have to go missing. And a lot of people think that they can somehow do it from both ends. And what I mean by that is that they think that they can make their ex miss them by still being highly involved and trying to control the situation. And the reason you want to control it is because when you're dumped, you just feel like you're totally out of control. You have no say in this, is what it feels like. And so if you back completely off, you feel like you are giving up your last small ounce of control. And what I want you to know most of all is you never had control in the first place. Control is an illusion for the most part. And it feels like if you stop talking to them that you can't control or participate or involve yourself in the situation, and that you'll just lose them completely. But when I tell you to stay away and to be in no contact, it's because I've seen it work many times. And though it doesn't work every single time, it does work a lot, and it gives you your best chance. And if you had a decent relationship with this person, the odds are much better than if it was a bad thing where there was constant arguing and drama, or worse. But if the relationship was a positive thing for both of you for the most part, then hopefully this is just a blip on the radar. So use the no contact rule to get your ex to miss you. Number 2, and it's fairly similar, but give your ex the breakup. And listen carefully what I mean by that. You don't want the breakup, but your ex does. And so if you are trying to keep yourself in their life, if you're fighting them on it, trying to have conversations with them constantly about it, a lot of people tend to think that if they just have a good talking to with this person, that the other person will say, you know, you're right. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't want this breakup after all. It almost never works that way. It really has to come from inside of them. And if you give them the breakup, it actually can, because most people, when they break up with someone, it's based on a concept. They think they want the breakup, but they haven't experienced it yet. Even if there's been a breakup before, it's not this breakup. And especially if there hasn't been, they haven't experienced being away from you, not having you, and being broken up with you. And so you've got to give them that, because if you stay there, then basically what you're doing is they think they're broken up with you, but they're not getting to experience it because you're still there. And so there's no motivation for them to change their minds about it. There's no motivation for them to get back together with you because they have the breakup, sort of a status part of it, and they still have you constantly. And so what would they be going back to because you're still there? So it's very important to stop fighting them on it and to just give them the breakup. And I know that's difficult because you don't want the breakup. But if I had asked you to do something very difficult, like slay a dragon, or crawl across broken glass, or walk 10 miles in the heat, something difficult to get your ex back, a lot of you would do it without question. And it would be difficult, but it would be worth it to you. Well, this is that difficult thing, to give them the breakup, to go against your own heart right now, and to agree with the breakup, leave it alone, let them have it. That's the difficult thing. That's the crawling over glass. And it can help get them back, and it can cause your ex to miss you. Because when they experience night after night without you, when they wonder why you're not fighting it, did you want it too? When you remove them from that position high atop the totem pole of attraction, where after they broke up with you, they felt more attractive than you. That's just natural. That's what happens. Even with good people who are not trying to hurt you, they don't worship themselves. They don't think of themselves as more attractive than you really in words in their head, but it's a feeling. When they break up with you, they feel like they are dismissing you, and therefore they are more desirable, more attractive than you. They're putting you away, and they are sort of in this higher echelon of attraction. And when you don't fight, when you don't try to talk them out of it, or beg or plead or chase, or try to manipulate the situation, then what you do is you push back against that and you say, no, I'm not less attractive because I'm not going to fight this. I'm not going to treat you as though you are my superior and I'm begging for crumbs from your table. And so when you give them the breakup, they sort of look back and think, well, why isn't this person trying to get me back? Why isn't this person acting like someone who's beneath me? Am I not attractive enough for them to do that? And so it can kind of pull them back down. And It's not being manipulative. If anything, it's just the opposite. It's giving them what they think they want. It's not a game. It's actually giving them the truth of the matter that they say they want. Before I get to number 3 on how to make your ex miss you, get information on my emergency breakup kit. I'll link to it in the description below. You can get more information about that at myexbackcoach.com. That's myexbackcoach.com. And it's the emergency breakup kit. It's the culmination of my 20 years in the relationship coaching service. It's a powerful guide to help you get your ex back. Number 3, don't be dramatic. Don't cause difficulty in their life. Don't try to make things hard on them, because what will happen is if they think that you are making this harder than it should be, or you're just being cruel to them or cold to them, or you're begging or pleading or being dramatic and causing all this stress in their life, then basically what happens is if they start thinking, maybe I miss this person, maybe I want to get back together with them, but then they think, oh, but if I do, and I change my mind because I'm not 100% sure yet. This is a difficult time. People don't just go from one extreme to the other. Usually they tend to move in slow steps, and they can get to a point where there needs to be a decision. They need to actually start doing things to get back together with you so you two can be working on the negatives that may have caused the breakup. But if they think, well, but since I'm not 100% sure if we can't fix these issues, if I have to break up with them again, I'm going to get all that drama again. It can actually deter them from trying again at all. And so you don't want to be complicated. You don't want to be dramatic. You don't want to pester them or stress them out about this. Just give it to them. Give them your silence. Let them miss you. And then they won't feel like there's a drawback. They'll think, I broke up with this person, and it hasn't been difficult, at least from their end. I haven't been just hearing all these things. If anything, what they'll think is they won't want to break up with you again because they didn't hear from you and you disappeared from their life and it was difficult. That's the difficult part you actually want to give them, is your absence, so they can miss you. Number 4 is to put out the positive. And what I mean by that is that I don't suggest you get on social media and try to act like your life is the best that it's ever been, because you risk looking fake. You risk looking like you're just trying to do this to make your ex think that you're awesome and you're having a great time and that everything's going so good for you that they should just want you back. It can look fake, which is the worst thing you could possibly do. So be really careful to be genuine. But if you do things to improve yourself and to just have a great life, and you are deliberate with your friendships and with your family relationships, with great things in your life that you can try to participate in or work toward, your friends, mutual friends, will know that. They'll talk about it. They might post about it. They might say something to your ex. You certainly don't want to cause that. And you don't want them trying to get your ex back. They can really mess it up, because a lot of times they overestimate their ability to help you. And one of your friends will go to your ex and say, oh man, she was just crying all night the other night, or he's just miserable and never leaves the house. And they think that will help you get them back, but it will do just the opposite. It will make you look pathetic and sad. It will make your ex feel sorry for you. And I talk about that in other videos. If your ex feels sorry for you, that's very different than attraction. Think about someone you feel sorry for. You're probably not thinking you're attracted to them. You just feel sorry for them. Now, it's possible to have both, but feeling sorry for them does not cause the attraction, and it can definitely harm it. So you don't want to try to get your friends to help you. You don't want them to talk to your ex or try to deliver these secret messages that seem like they're really, really clever or something like that. Most of the time, it will just mess things up. The risk is too high. Please take my word on this. I wish I could go back in time and really stress this more to some people who just kind of thought that I was giving them some generic, decent ideas, and they had their friends try to help, and it only messed things up even worse. Make sure your friends stay out of it. But if they happen to notice great things about you that they talk about amongst themselves, and it does happen to get to your ex, that can actually help. Just don't try to make it happen. You focus on you. You focus on living the best life you can, and the positive vibes, the positive information will get back to your ex, even if they see it just themselves from your life and what they can kind of feel from you. It's weird how that works. When you focus on yourself and the relationships you have, friendships and family, not trying to make them jealous, not going on dates and doing all these things for show, but it can actually really be a powerful thing to get your ex to miss you. Before I mention number 5, take a quick second and subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when I have more videos like this. I also have a new channel on overcoming anxiety, and I'll link to that in the end screen. So number 5 on how to make your ex miss you is when they reach out to you, it's important that you don't just give it all back to them. Now listen to what I'm going to say about this. It's important when they reach out to you that they do feel some progress, that you're not just shutting them down, that you're not ignoring them, that you do actually allow them to see that they could communicate with you. You just don't show that you're positive. You show them that you have reserve about this. Because if you jump back into this too fast, it's sort of anticlimactic. It makes it look like all this worry they did and your absence and all this stuff, it can actually make it look like it wasn't necessary, but also like maybe you were being fake. And it can also feel like they haven't earned it back, that neither one of you have. And it's best by far when the two of you allow some time to where you're moving slower. You're not just all of a sudden doing everything together again. You're not just constantly communicating with each other again, but there's a slow movement forward. Things almost always work better when that's the case. And if you jump back in too fast, it can also raise the chances that there could be another breakup, because your ex will feel like that they were just able to break up with you and get back together with you in a snap. And so it's not a big deal to break up with you. We don't want them to feel that either. We want your ex to realize they made a mistake. They could have lost you, but they are lucky, they're fortunate, they're blessed to be able to get another chance with you. That's what you want. And you want both of you to feel like you're slowly earning it back. That way, you're keeping that attraction and that motivation high in the heart and the mind of your ex. So if you do those things, you have a good chance of making your ex miss you.